Conjuring House drama has been one of the biggest controversies to come out of the paranormal world over the past few months, and for good reason. A historical location brought to its knees by a greedy owner who has mismanaged staff. That's exactly what's been going on, and there has been so much that has gone on that people are still wondering where this all began, how this all started, and what's gone on thus far. So I'm going to be making a couple of compilation videos to get you all up to speed with everything that has happened so far, and to actually watch it in its entirety back to back. You can really see how it started off as a steady decline and then suddenly snowballed and went downhill very, very quickly. So this is the entire downfall of the Conjuring House so far. The Conjuring House is by far one of the most well-known paranormal locations on the planet, and they've made some very controversial decisions as of late, and we're going to be checking out a video from Mythos Paranormal to see if it is simply strange. So the video posted by Mythos is: The Conjuring House, is it time to shut it down? And this does come after some very odd Facebook posts made obviously by the owners of the Conjuring House, but obviously the most recent thing to come out of the Conjuring House was from Sam and Colby's Conjuring series, where where Cody and Satori were brought into the mix, and they obviously, that was a huge thing. But let's take a little look at the recent posts and just see how chaotic and toxic this place has become.
Ooh, after reading some of these comments, she's put her foot in it again, hasn't she? So yeah, it's been a while since we've had a Conjuring House update. And that's the thing about the Conjuring House. It's got movies based on it. All these stories, history and lore. This place could be amazing. I think it's either time just to shut it down or have a fresh start. If you go and look up 30 East Drive in the UK, that is booked out every night. Here's some advice for this place. Stop charging ridiculous prices.
By the way, to go to the Conjuring House now, the price that you have to pay, the fee of entry, is $1,500 per person. If you wanted to take a group of 4, that's what, $6 grand just to get in. $6,000 for one night to investigate there. Absurd amounts of money
per night, and it will fill out every single night over the year. Jackie, step aside. Be the owner, but get a manager.
Yeah, Jackie is the owner, for anyone that doesn't know. Jacqueline Nunez, I believe it is.
This post just proves that the lady needs one. This is insane. Get someone who genuinely loves the lore and history and place and let them run it. Just like the old owner, Corey. He was passionate about this place. It's just actually a shame that he sold it, to be honest. But some quick advice there, no one will probably take. Let's get into this Conjuring House update. So we're just on their Facebook page. Let's just go down to this post. Here we go. So, happy July, everyone. I am hearing about a lot of hateful rumbling from people who are not in the Conjuring House supportive moods by the sound of it. As you may know, the Conjuring House is the most famous haunted location in the world. We attract hundreds of people from around the globe per month to Berryville, Rhode Island to partake in one of our fucking experiences.
First of all, right, the F word is used so frequently. You can hear the venom in the post, right? Obviously there's no need for this, right? Straight off the bat, there's no need for that to be in the sentence, but she's clearly so upset and keyboard furiously typing to the point where her keyboard is probably about to blow up.
What? What did I just read? Was there any need in saying it like that?
Exactly.
Weird. I am told that some members of the paranormal community and government officials keep attacking the Conjuring House. Ooh, government officials. There are many wonderful paranormal investigators and honest government people who have consistently supported the paranormal field. Many members of the paranormal community have commended the expansion of experiences at the Conjuring House to broaden the interest in paranormal activity. That demonstrates the continuity of consciousness. Yeah, like things like camping out in the woods and stuff. I have heard a lot of people saying that's silly, to be fair. As to others, whatever. We really do.
This is a full-grown woman writing this, by the way. This is a full-grown woman. Not a child, Not a teenager with an attitude problem, a full-grown woman, a business owner, by the way. A business owner.
Do not care about people who abuse and attack people. We consider them evil and wicked people.
Wow.
In fact, we never want any person with these personality afflictions to visit us at the Conjuring House. So, if you're among the wicked mood personality challenged, then stay away. This is exactly what I was just saying at the start. This person needs a manager. We now have the kindest, hard-working people with positive outlooks on our staff. Our all-new staff with a couple of previous staff consists of all those people there. Our reviews are reflecting the great energy of our invigorated staff.
Now, I have no doubt that the staff that work at the Conjuring House are, you know, fantastic people and passionate about the place. They're not the issue. They're not. I mean, obviously, Cody and Satori left very recently after all of the controversy. It might have been a jump before you get pushed kind of situation, because obviously there was such huge controversy around those two, whether they were real, whether they were fake, whatever the outcome may have been. But, you know, it probably didn't look good for business, and it probably didn't help for business. So Jacqueline was just like, get out the door. And then, you know, they've brought in some new staff and, you know, kept some of the older staff that probably weren't as controversial and weren't bringing the company into disrepute.
There are always going to be growing pains when you start or take over a business. I am not apologetic that I needed to turn over the first wave of the Conjuring House staff. Among the reasons for the dismissal of these people were cruel and hateful verbal abuse towards others, and suspecting that some staff were fraudulent in their investigative methods.
Are they talking about Cody and Satori there?
I will never be defeated or destroyed now or at any time in the fucking future.
She's so pissed.
So fucking be it. What am I reading? I appreciate the township of Berryville, Rhode Island for their support and guidance. They have helped the Conjuring House to grow its business and attract tourists from around the world since I bought the property and the business in May of 2022. As always, we welcome any and all paranormal curious and paranormal enthusiasts and seasoned paranormal investigators to our location, except hateful, wicked, evil mood personality challenged people. We continue to be thrilled with the people visiting us from around the globe. Every day we meet people who have travelled far and wide with anticipation to have an authentic paranormal experience. We look forward to hosting all of the good and morally upright people, because the world is filled with such people much more than the hateful, wicked and low density people that should look in the mirror rather than rage at the people, animals, communities and habitats surrounding them.
That's quite an ironic statement, isn't it? It's a bit like, you know, wishy-washy, and it's a bit like, who is the person that you're describing right now? Well, it's you. Let's be real. It's you. Like, you are the person that's clearly full of rage, full of anger, full of hatred towards a specific community that you're trying to call out. And you're upset because these people are exposing your business and it's harming your bookings, your revenue, your $1,500 per person to enter. Extortion, by the way. That is extortion. Like, one night, people. One night. Who pays $1,500? Like, you could probably go find an Airbnb with some kind of haunted history. That's what most YouTubers go and do these days. Just go and do something like that. You don't need the Conjuring House. Yes, it's iconic, right? But it's been changed. It's not the same iconic place from the movies. They tried to keep it all the same, and they tried to keep this narrative running about it, but at the end of the day, it's just a house. It's just a house.
This post is directed at specific people in the United States and elsewhere who I am told are abusing and attacking people for no fucking reason other than to terrify them from continuing their interest in the continuity of consciousness, i.e. paranormal activity. The state of Rhode Island has defended its business that have come under attack from wicked and evil forces to curtail their freedom of expression. Rhode Island was founded by Roger Williamson in 1636, and he espoused freedom of expression and freedom to practice your personal beliefs regarding the laws of the cosmos. I am told by the state of Rhode Island and the township of Burryville that they will continue to protect and defend the Conjuring House from the people who are trying to hurt our business. And to that, the Conjuring House remains eternally grateful to Rhode Island, Burryville, and every other town and community that supports freedom of expression for their residents and their businesses. Wow. I mean, what was that? What was that? Let's look at the comments. Yikes.
Wow, it seems like you might want to practice some of your kindness that you're preaching. Ouch. This is back. By the way, this post has backfired so severely. The level of support is completely overshadowed by the level of people that are like seeing this for what it actually is, which is, you know, Jackie getting clearly upset, clearly pissed off at people who are calling her out or, like, you know, attacking her business, when in actuality, like, you know, it comes warranted. You know, it's a cash grab at the end of the day. I don't think Jackie is truly in this for the support of the paranormal or to try and further the paranormal field. She's in this to support the furthering of her bank account and her purse. Like, that's just a fact. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't the case, there wouldn't be this extremely high entry fee. You'd make it affordable. You'd make it so that anybody could come. You wouldn't make it so that only, like, you know, YouTube royalty like Sam and Colby can come along. It's just not the case, is it?
Paranormal reality TV. Wow, seems like you might want to practice some of that kindness you were preaching. Ouch. That is so true. Just like the previous statement that was put out, it was very hypocritical. Claiming hate and slander and all that while hating and slandering on others. Talking shit about the previous staff there. Glad to get rid of them and get new ones and stuff. For a start, the staff members I can think of, Corey and his daughter, very passionate people about that place and loved the place. Reed, who worked there, he had a paranormal group or worked with one as well. I've seen videos of him going out on investigations. He absolutely was passionate about the paranormal, loved to be at that place. So I cannot imagine these people saying anything bad at all about the Conjuring House because they loved working there. I just don't know where that's coming from, you know, talking shit about them. And about the paranormal couple, admitting now you are suspecting that they were frauds.
I mean, let's bear in mind... Oh.
What was that about when you were talking shit about me for outing them? Huh?
Let's not forget, yeah, like Mythos just said there, Jackie was one of the first people to jump on the defensive because, of course, Cody and Satori, the paranormal couple, Satori being the daughter of Jason Hawes, the Jason Hawes paranormal investigator, who is known to be one of the most legit TV paranormal investigators during a time of alleged fake paranormal shows like Ghost Adventures and stuff like this. It really, it's very contradicting now to kind of jump on that hate bandwagon. Like, if you're gonna say something, at least stand by what you say.
Unbelievable. Madison Rainey says, "This is so distasteful and I am truly at a loss for words here." Yeah. To see such a magical historical property be treated and represented like this is tragic, to say the least. That is so true. To be represented like this, unbelievable. It is a shame that there are so many of us who have devoted years of love, support and energy for it to be represented like this. Whatever happened to visiting the house with respect? Well said, Madison.
The only way you can visit the house now is with fat paychecks.
Is this really what the spirits would want? Things aren't always the way they seem, I guess. This house is truly something special and will speak for itself and its history. There are so many of us here in the paranormal community that share our research and findings from a passion and always output honesty and integrity. I will always forever hold on to my memories I made there and my connections that I've made. Actions speak louder than words. The truth will always prevail. Barbara says, "This is such a shame. I'm appalled at the business owner's rhetoric and unprofessionalism. The issue wasn't the former staff, but the exorbitant pricing. Ooh, yep, that is so true. Like I said at the start, change your pricing and that place will fill out every night. The house could stand on its own merits and attract seasoned and new investigators alike. Its reputation preceded this current owner's greed-fed business practices. This is another example of widespread paranormal drama that unfortunately exists and permeates the industry. Very true.
Now, I won't lie, the paranormal, I was obviously involved with it a little while ago. It started out fun. It was, lighthearted. It was, serious at times when it needed to be. But it became so toxic. It was just us versus them. It was, I hate you and you hate me. And it was like, just shit throwing and discrediting everyone. And everyone was against each other. And it was like having to tear down people to promote yourself. And it was just crazy. And I go on Twitter and I still follow a few paranormal teams from my time doing the paranormal stuff, and I see it still to this day. Like, the smaller teams feel that it's necessary to act like that to get known. Like, I see teams with a couple of thousand subscribers on YouTube attacking huge teams to try and get, because that controversy, attacking those big names gets you noticed, all right? And the louder you bark, the bigger the audience that looks your way. So, you don't grow in the paranormal anymore as a paranormal team or investigative team by being genuine, being good, being, authentic, because you don't get noticed that way. And people have noticed this. You grow through shit slinging at other people and, using their names and titles, for example, and trying to collaborate with them and all the rest of it. It's just an absolute mess. And I am so glad that I've moved away from that and I can just sit back and watch it from the outside in and not be involved in that anymore, because it is just, my life got so much better for it. Truly it did. It was just chaos and toxic.
Lisa says, I am appalled. Incredibly sad to see this post from the owner. I'm an investigator from SC who had hoped to travel there, but not under this owner. I'm not exactly sure what caused this, but the energy certainly isn't what needs to be projected into this beautiful house. Just my simple opinion, do better to unify the paranormal field. Careful, Lisa, you're not allowed an opinion over there.
This is exactly what the issue is people are so opinionated to the point where your opinion becomes irrelevant and you're not allowed one. And this is the issue, especially with somewhere like the Conjuring house. If you speak your opinion, whether it be especially negative, and it brings bad business, you're gonna get chucked out. You're gonna get just cast aside. You need to fit the norms. You need to behave in a certain way. You can't go around being a paranormal investigator anymore like what Twin Paranormal do. Though it does work for them. But, they go around high energy. That's frowned upon because it's not a positive way to be. It's not a professional manner to conduct an investigation, something so serious. No, just inject a bit of fun. Those guys enjoy having fun. Who fucking cares? It's their content. People watch it because they like looking at the serious aspect of the ghost hunting alongside the light-hearted humour of the boys. It's just... But that's not allowed anymore. That's frowned upon by other people. And it's like, you got torn to shreds by certain channels and parts of a community for that. And it's like, lighten up. Have a good time. Let your hair down a bit.
Raven says, I'm not even picking these comments just to be funny or mean. These are genuinely just the top comments. Unbelievable. So Raven says, what in the hell did I just read? This is so heartbreaking. The former staff was the absolute best you could ever had at that. That's what I've already covered. Without reading Raven's comments, that's what I've said. They loved the place and were passionate about it. And the serious unprofessionalism of this is proof as to why they all left. That's the thing. She's saying dismissal. Raven here is speculating that they left.
I bet it wasn't dismissal. I bet it wasn't. They just didn't like the new, business model. because it is a business model. It's not a passion project anymore. It's a business. Everyone's got to make money, by the way. Like, I'm not shitting on that. Everyone's got to make money. But there's a certain way you do it. Like, it's like a YouTuber, right? Like Mr. Beast. Biggest YouTuber on the planet. Biggest haunted house on the planet. Everybody watches him. Everybody loves it. Everyone watched the Conjuring movies. Everyone loved it. And they're intrigued about Jimmy, Mr. Beast. They're intrigued about the house, the Conjuring house. They want to go and see it for themselves. Mr. Beast wants to provide, behind-the-scenes content behind a paywall on memberships. But then Mr. Beast decides, well, you've got to pay $1,000 to see the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's the exact same. People are going to be like, well, I can't afford that. I can't go and do that. You've just completely, like, you're capitalising on, us as an audience. Yes, you've got to make money, but, you're going to get tenfold what you get, and it's going to be a better, goodwill kind of thing to have a lower price. It doesn't make any sense.
I wonder what's true. I truly feel for the spirits that reside in that beautiful house. The Conjuring house needs a serious cleansing for our new owner because it deserves much better than this. And that's the thing about the spirits, okay, guys? Let's just say they are spirits there, which I have always believed. Now that we've found out that the toe tappers were toe tapping and not genuinely speaking to that spirit, if the spirit was there of that lady, she will be like, what the hell are you guys doing? I'm over here. I'm not talking to them over there knocking. And if the spirits are there, watching all of this go down, logging onto the internet and reading this, they will be appalled. Kenny Biddle. Oh, Kenny, how's it going? Kenny, you're in here as well. How very unprofessional. Good job. Nice and simple. I mean, that's all you can say, really, isn't it? Candice says, a business owner should never come onto social media and bash their former employees, or even think about using the language utilised in this post.
That's exactly it. It's just unprofessional. As a business owner, I would not go on. And I guess it's different, like a YouTube channel being your business, but at the same time, I've got multiple channels now. I've got like 6 on the go at the minute. So I guess my business is made up of those channels. But if I had people like editors that worked for me, thumbnail designers and stuff, which I do, and I would never, if I didn't like their work, I wouldn't go online and absolutely berate them. That's just stupid. That makes no sense at all, because it's not professional. You don't look good. I worked for a company when I was doing PE, right? Physical education in schools and stuff. And if my boss went online and started slating his former employees on the official page, like Instagram and Facebook page, it would look so unprofessional and it would turn people off. It would not make people want to come to your business. This is a post designed to try and get people back in, but it's doing the exact opposite. Like, people are so turned off from this place because of this new ownership and how poorly she conducts herself online, where they're like, this just isn't worth it anymore. This just isn't worth it. This house isn't what it was set out to be.
What did I say? It needs a manager. To be heard is one thing, but to bash on those who poured nothing but love and respect into the place, no thanks. 10 out of 10 will not recommend. I hope this house gets another owner who loves it like it truly deserves again soon. I mean, these comments just go on and on, guys. Just have a quick skim. Kristen, this woman has a master's in counselling and thinks this type of post is okay on a business page? Yikes. That is the thing. I said in my last statement video where I read out one of her posts, she's meant to be a lawyer? Not a very good one. That post sounded like she just sat down, typed it in a rage and pressed send. This sounds the same. You really need to read over things before you put it out. This sounds very, very bad. Like that first comment said, even worse than the first statement. So Kristen, somebody should send this to the state of Rhode Island and township of Berryville that she mentioned are protecting her business. Oh, good idea. Not that I believed she talked to the officials from either, but just to give them a heads up so they can get a cease and desist order to stop her from claiming they back her. That's a very good point, Kristen. That is a very good point. And
That's very political there.
Who are these supposed government officials who are talking shit?
Yeah.
And if they are, who cares? The place is ruined. Its reputation is gone. My advice to do this and that to make it work again? Should they just quit? Get rid of it? It's become an absolute joke. Well,
It has, and it's such a shame because a place so rich with history, if managed well, you know, could be a booming business, but also maintain the integrity of what the place is all about. It is the greatest haunted location in the world, apparently. You know, obviously that's, you know, subjective, because I could say that actually I'd rather go to Chillingham Castle, for example, which is equally as haunted, but a fraction of the price to get into. But if you lowered the price, you know, you could do it to $250 a head. All right. Yes, it's a significant decrease, but it makes it more affordable for people. That's still a lot of money to go for a single night. In fact, you should probably lower it to sub $100 per night, per head, sorry, because, you know, you'd be packed out. You could maximize the capacity, and you could run maybe 2 events per night. Let's say, you know, 6 p.m. till midnight, midnight till 6 a.m. You could even have day sessions going on if you wanted to, where people can have just a walk around the house. I don't know. But that business model would be so much better. You'd get so many more people through the door. But it wouldn't destroy the integrity of the place. Because right now, it's just known as an overinflated attraction. That's all it really is. And it's just, people aren't interested in it anymore. It's lost its pizzazz. It's lost its wow factor.
well, there we go, guys. There's a lot of comments all saying the same stuff. Basically, like, WTF. What was that? So if you want to go and check out all of them, there's many, many more. Look, they keep on going. They keep on going. Look at that candle. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, that house. Is it done for? It seems so. I would have absolutely loved to have gone there, but I would never go there now. It's become an absolute joke. Like I called it before in one video, it's the content house. And now there's no content being able to be made there. It's just a house.
The Conjuring House has come under fire recently, especially as the owner of the Conjuring House put up a very controversial post to Facebook. Jason Hawes has been covering the Conjuring drama, and he had all of the ex-employees on his YouTube channel to do a live stream and talk about their experiences and why they left. And it gets saucy. So we're going to take a look at it today to see if it is simply strange. So like I said, this is on Jason Hawes' YouTube channel, and it is Conjuring drama. What is really going on? Now, this whole live stream is over 2 hours long. I'm not going to be diving into the whole thing. I will leave a link to the entire video down in the description, so if you want to check it all out for yourself, you are more than welcome to, but let's get into it.
Now, the problem with that is back in February, March, April, I believe it was April, you all turned in your resignation letter. So, and I'm going to show that. I'll put that up here for everybody, just so we know. And Tori, if you want to read it, do it up.
Okay. So the date is April 26th at 9:44 p.m. We say hello. Now, this email was sent to multiple people. It was brought to the owner, our previous employer's attention, as well as somebody else directly associated with them, to make sure it was received. So we said hello. Hope you're doing well. I know the situation must be extremely tough, and I'm really sorry we're meeting this way. I spoke to Jacqueline yesterday in regards to the business. We know that Jacqueline often does not remember conversations, so I wanted this. Hold on one second. So I wanted this in writing in case that happens. The following staff members gave their resignation yesterday to Jacqueline through me, since she has my number, and that will take effect Friday, May 3rd at 11 a.m. And then all of our names are listed. After 11 a.m. on Friday, May 3rd, we will no longer be working at the Conjuring House. I explained to her that she has no coverage for the house, email, and admin. From that point on, we have done our absolute best to manage this for her the past 6 months. And to keep this away from the public. We have only been met with anger and accusations about the situation in December and January from Jacqueline and the time leading up to her current blank. She has said some pretty horrific things about members of staff that were untrue, unnecessary, extremely hurtful. And we told her in February that if she put us in this position again, we would have no choice but to leave. Every single staff member has gone above and beyond to try and help her in the business. We've done all this out of love and care and concern for her, the house, and the spirits, but we can no longer watch this happen as it has affected all of us deeply. The devastation that the staff feels for this entire situation can't be described in words. We are legally uncomfortable to handle cancellations, rebookings, or refunds due to current situation. I asked Jacqueline yesterday to shut down the house for the purpose of blank, getting the business back on track.
I wonder what the blank is. Like, I think that's actually a clever idea. You know, shut the business down for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it takes, just to get your admin sorted, get your shit together, and then come back fresh, right? But that's never going to happen. Because obviously, cha-ching, baby, missing out on them wonga.
We decline that option. We strongly urge Jacqueline to reconsider shutting down the house before visitors show up to an empty house and the rumor mill begins. We want her to be out blank before the house opens back up again. We cannot be held responsible for what the house happens with the business or the house after May 3rd. We're so sorry that it's come to this, but we have no other choice. She has no caretaker coverage for the month of May. Another person will be there to handle tours on May 3rd, but no one will be at the house for overnight starting May 3rd. No coverage for tours after May 4th. No one should be at the house after 11. So should no one be at the house after 11 a.m. on May 3rd to check people in and run the events, we cannot be held responsible for the fallout from that situation.
Fair.
From angry guests. We have been through that before when she didn't show up on January 19th. Despite knowing she was on schedule, we were assured she would be there. That situation was devastating for the entire staff and reflected badly on staff when it was not our fault.
Wow.
Jacqueline asked me to give information here. And then this section here, we're so sorry it's come to this. It's not what any of us wanted, but in light of all that's transpired, we can no longer rely on Jacqueline to consistently manage the business in her current state. Staff cannot continue to work unpaid. We want nothing for her but to be happy. We feel she's not allowing that to happen for herself. We're aware we may not get paid for any of this, but have chosen to remain at the house last month out of love for the house, the spirits, her animals, and each other. We wish the best for Jacqueline and hope that she gets help she needs and move on with her life in the way we all hope that she can.
Wow. So basically, staff weren't getting paid, and if they were getting paid late. She had no idea on how much was actually owed to staff. So clearly there's no one running the books, managing the accounts. Staff would be in... She was saying that she was going to be at events and then never turned up. And then it fell back onto staff. But the staff were basically doing roles that they shouldn't have been expected to do. Basically, Jacqueline's gone, I own the house, so you guys can deal with absolutely everything. I'll just take the proceeds. And I'll make sure that you get paid at the end of the month, but no one will get paid at the end of the month. That is piss poor management.
All right.
That is poor management.
Pretty self-explanatory on that one. You know, I have no idea how to get us back to... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, now I can start adding everybody again. So, if it works. Yep. So, guys, we're trying out this new software with a ton of people. So, hopefully you're a little understanding on that. So I think that the main thing here is, first off, you guys turned in your resignation, all of you, and you know what? I'm going to say it because I don't want to put you guys in a predicament. All right. So you guys turned in your resignation, and then text messages started coming in, and these text messages, I'm saying it, Jacqueline. So kiss my ass. These text messages started getting worse and worse. First off, they started off begging people to come back to work. Begging people. Telling them that you needed them.
Wow.
Then they started getting angry.
Wow.
Because these people did not come back. Because they declined to come back. Because they didn't want to work in that environment anymore. So then the messages went from angry to threatening.
This is just not how to manage a business. This is not how to manage people, right? Yes, you've got a business to run, but at the end of the day, these are people. She probably wanted to keep hold of Cody and Satori because of the gift that they allegedly have. You know, the jury's still out on that one. I know that people are kind of less inclined to believe them now than ever before, but regardless, they added something to their attraction. They were a sub-attraction to the main attraction, if you will. You know, and that does objectify them, but I think Jacqueline objectified them.
to the point where some of these messages then came in saying that you were going to say people were fake because
wow,
you felt that was your best way to attack them.
No! Talk about blackmail! Oh my god, it's like blackmail. It's like, if you don't come back, I'm going to tell everyone that you were fake. Oh my god! What a toxic human! I've never heard of anyone so toxic in my life. No wonder these people wanted out. Jacqueline, you're a horrible person.
So people didn't want to work for you because of situations that were going on, which we haven't got into. And believe me, we easily can. But then because they didn't want to stay in a toxic work environment where people were being screamed at, yelled at, threatened, you then attack them and then on top of that threaten again to now sue them and do this stuff and then claim they're fake. And it's just, I don't know how you guys, how any of you, Corey, Jen, I love you guys dearly. I don't know how you put up with this. Tori, Cody, I wish you guys had told me a long time ago, because I would have been involved a long time ago. Reed, I know you, Aaron, and it's just the whole thing is insane to me.
Yeah.
It's about the house.
I'm not being funny though, right? Surely that would undo her own business though. If she turns around, Jacqueline turns around and says, I knowingly allowed, let's use Cody and Satori as an example, right? I'm not saying that they are fake, you know, the jury's still out on it, but let's just say, for example, Jacqueline turns around and is like, they've left, it's not worked, so I'm going to go through with my threat. And post all over Facebook, Cody and Satori are fake, they're fakers. I allowed them to fake in my property. That just undoes your business, because you have knowingly allowed them, if they are fake, at least you're making it look like they are, to fool your customers whilst they were in your property. So basically, you were part of the scam. So that's a double-edged sword, because if they turn around and they say you're fake, people would just turn around and say, well, you allowed it to happen. So will the experiences in the house not real? Is the house fake? Are you fake? She should have done it. She should have done it and then dealt with the fallout, because that would have been crazy.
Well, it is about...
That's why we stuck around. It's about the house and the community, the people that are coming in. It's not about lining her pockets or anything like that. It's all about the people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is about the house and it is about the community. But there's messages from this very lady who pretty much says F the paranormal community and so forth.
She has just pissed off her income stream. Like, the paranormal, the community, the people that are going to this place. People who don't believe in ghosts or don't believe in the paranormal won't go to this house. They just won't. Like, it's the people that are truly intrigued in the paranormal and part of that community that want to go to this house and experience it for themselves. And you're saying, fuck you. Like, you're pissing off your income stream. You do not know how to run a business. Come on!
Which, you know, she's going to be a success. The house is it's going to be the best thing in the world, and even F the community if she needs to. So I've never seen the downfall of a property so fast by somebody with such a big freaking head. I mean, the whole thing is just
It's
insane.
an ego. It's an ego thing. It comes across that way. I've got to say, right, I'm throwing all of these things about. Obviously, I can't back any of this up. This is all alleged so far. I mean, you know, apparently there have been screenshots and text shown, but based off of this this panel and what they're saying, it clearly just does not look very good.
That we've seen throughout the paranormal community is this happens. People, for some reason, they get involved in a property, they buy the property, and then they start to have an ego issue, which just explodes. I mean, one thing that we know about the paranormal community is there's a lot of drama. And I don't know what it is about the paranormal that creates this, but this seems to be like, you know, the most extreme, the most severe. But we've seen incrementally some of these other places do that too. And I don't know what it is, but it affects people. It affects people like all the faces you see here with us tonight. It affects the people that go to these properties to try to have an experience and enjoy the history of the location. And that's the real tragedy of it all. The good people involved get hurt by all this.
Well, and to back up your point, Jim, I think people go from thinking that the property is special to thinking that they're the reason people are coming.
Exactly.
And I mean, Grant and me, we bought an inn. We bought the Spalding Inn. We had, did the bar, we had a restaurant, we had the inn. And it was a place of enjoyment. I mean, I still talk to all the people who worked with me, who worked for us, because we were a big family. We all made this work like this. I mean, everybody busted their butts. With that, everybody busted. I'm sorry, Aaron, you somehow got booted. With the Spalding Inn, we loved the place. Everybody was treated perfect. I mean, of course, you have some issues with employees, this issue, that issue. But everybody was happy to be there. And we bought the place because it was said to be haunted. It was said to be one of the most haunted places up there. But it was a place of enjoyment. Everybody had a good time. And I just don't understand. And it was never about me. It was never about Grant. It was about the Spalding Inn. And that's all it was ever about. So I just don't understand why people just their heads just explode, and it just so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I mean, like, the Conjuring house is prime real estate. There was a movie about it. Everybody knows about the Conjuring house. Annabelle, the whole story around that thing. Ed and Lorraine Warren visited there. The history is bustling, right? Is it the most haunted location in the world? Absolutely not. Is it more of an attraction now than anything else? Absolutely. Well, I could go there and I can guarantee I probably would not have an experience. But the experience would probably be the enjoyment of going there. Having that experience. If something paranormal happens, bonus. But at the same time, people don't necessarily go to... They go to places because they want to have a paranormal encounter. But at the same time, it's the hospitality that you put on that makes the experience something else. It makes people want to come back to you. That's how you get recurring customers.
So, where's Erin? There she is. All right, you're back.
We keep bouncing around.
Yeah.
The internet doesn't like me today. It's okay.
You know what? If I had planned ahead of time, I could have set it up. Everybody placeholder, but I didn't plan for crap. It was just like, oh, well, all right, well, yeah, we'll do this. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Go ahead, Tor.
I was going to say, do you want to lead the way on which avenue we take from here? Do you want to discuss?
Yeah. So I have. All right. I mean, you guys. This is your story. I don't want to control it, but I do have text from you all. I have text from this past employer. I mean, the things she says in her text, are just vicious. I don't even understand it. If I was anybody going to this place, I would sever all ties. I gotta be honest with you.
Share the text. Share the text. Share the text.
So we have, let's see, there's been accusations of stealing, which are insane to me.
Oh my god.
Like, people are somehow accessing her account and taking stuff. Text towards you and Cody and Steve about the barn fire, where she was going to take care of all this, but then you guys set this whole thing in motion to burn things down.
What? No.
Yeah. Where do you guys want to go with this? Because I want the world to see everything. So it's like, yeah, you tell me.
What the actual fuck? Like, she's upset because people have left because of her toxicity, and then she's blaming them for the barn fire, which happened back in, was it the end of last year? December time last year? People stealing. I'm gonna blame you for accuse you of being fake. Oh my god. This is not a really good look for the Conjuring house. And what I mean by that is a debunker by the name of the Side-Eye Guy has just exposed what it's truly like to go to the Conjuring house, including pricing and some other absolutely radical things. And we're going to take a look at it today to see if it is simply strange.
At the time of booking for our group to go to the Conjuring house, I was screen sharing with Joe Fatale from Entity 7 Paranormal, so I read all of the same terms and conditions that he did. Joe made the down payment for our stay at the Conjuring house, and his channel is under 15,000 subscribers, so that made it all a little bit cheaper. We also decided to make ourselves available for a Monday night investigation, which also made our stay a bit cheaper. But even with saving a bit of money here and a bit of money there, after taxes, this cost Joe around $1,500 for the night.
Can we talk about that for a second? $1,500 for one night to go and experience potentially nothing. for one night. That is a mind-boggling amount of money, and that's how much I said it was in my last video, and everyone was like, you got that wrong. No, I didn't.
Because he also had to pay for an extra person who unfortunately had to cancel last minute. But still, $1,500. For context, the Bel Air house was just under $500, and that was also to stay for the whole night. But there's more. After this booking, we must have missed in some very small print, because really this should have been made far more obvious to us at the time of booking, that for this $1,500, that only permits one channel to film for the purpose of uploading to YouTube.
I find that utterly mind-boggling. Like, that to a degree is free promotion on top of the $1,500. These people are paying to promote your house, right? And you're limiting it to one person allowed to upload to YouTube or to social media. What the actual F? Like, this is mind-blowing. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. What is this business practice? Because, or wherever you went to, like, get your business ideas, it was shocking. You've had a shocker.
There can be only one.
But there were 3 channels in our group, including myself. After emailing the Conjuring house to clarify some of this confusion, they told us that on any given night, there was a maximum of only 2 channels that were allowed to film for the intention of uploading to YouTube.
That's
but
crazy.
this second channel had to pay another additional fee. And this additional fee was $850.
Right, for context, to make around $850 on YouTube from a video, you would need, depending on CPM, it's very finicky, so it varies from channel to channel and location to location and, you know, length of video, all sorts. There's so many variables, but let's say for argument's sake, to make around $850, you'd probably need in the ballpark region of around 1 to 200,000 views. Again, that takes into account, video length, location that you upload from, because that does depend on CPM, what goes on within the video, whether it's completely advertiser friendly or not. Like, there's so many like finicky factors that people don't realize. So yeah, someone would need to get around 100 to 200,000 views to garner, just to make that money back. To profit from it, you're probably looking at 3 to 4 to, well, anything beyond 200,000 views, roughly.
Oh, come on! So this brought the total price of our group to stay for one night at the Conjuring house at $2,350 US.
Again, to make that kind of money back, to make $2,350 back, you probably need around, it's hard to say, 4 to 500,000 views, I should imagine, somewhere in that ballpark, just to make that money back. It's crazy, like crazy.
And now I have no money.
Like, let's put it into context. My highest video made on my main channel made like, I think it was like around £4,000 US pounds. So, and that had almost 700,000 views. So yeah, you can do the math.
Here are some Rhode Island Airbnbs that are cheaper for the price that we paid at the Conjuring house. And these Airbnbs can host a group as big as our group was. Since Entity 7 Paranormal and Weeping Willow Paranormal, please go to their channels to subscribe, they're great by the way, are paranormal investigating channels, I thought it'd be best that they film content for their channels. Since I'm a debunker, I can react to their videos, of which I will get round to doing, so please subscribe to my channel if you want to see that.
Yeah, gotta get that money.
So this is why I said at the beginning of this video that I have no videos of our investigation on the Side Eye Guy channel, because I was not allowed to film for the purpose of uploading to my channel. But just to be clear here, even if I wanted to pay a shit ton of money to film during our investigation, I was not allowed to. But then there is even more red tape, which we did not realise at the time of making the actual booking. Before you are allowed to upload your video to YouTube, you must first provide that video to the Conjuring House team, and then they will tell you if it is approved to go on YouTube. And since you are signing a contract giving them permission to do this, God knows what kind of legal troubles you could get into. So I suppose...
And we all know that Jacqueline Nunez likes to throw around the idea of lawsuits and stuff from what we've heard. So, you know, she would go down that route for sure. The Conjuring House situation just got seriously bad. And by that, it sounds quite dramatic, but by the end of this video, you're going to be like, whoa, he wasn't kidding. Brian Danseru. You might remember him from a couple of days ago. He made a GoFundMe for basically getting fired unlawfully from the Conjuring House after the spirits told Jacqueline Nunez, the owner of the Conjuring House, that he had been stealing money and psychically attacking her. Yes, that was truly the reason why he was fired from the house. But it got even more insane when the owner of the Conjuring House texted him this after posting it to his GoFundMe, and she actually screenshot it and then sent it along to her like he wouldn't see it. So the message states, "You stole $3,000 from the Conjuring House. It speaks for itself. The fact that you go starting a GoFundMe page is laughable. Tell the Conjuring House what laws we broke by firing someone we stood to make $100,000 per year as a VP of operations if he had only not stolen our money from merchandise sales. Do not contribute to his GoFundMe page. Thieves are not protected class under federal or state discrimination laws. Rather, we call them felons. I don't care what you think about the owner of the TCH, the Conjuring House. He has no legal leg to stand on. This is what happens to shitty, lying felons, and I won't press charges. We are too busy hosting people from around the globe. Probably not anymore. People who commit immoral acts or eventually lose their jobs and then started GoFundMe pages. I can't think of a couple of paranormal losers, but I won't name names. I can think of a couple of paranormal losers, but won't name names." Oh, shots fired there. By the way, voices in one's head is called mediumistic skills. You're pathetic, and it underscores that I made the right decision because John Arnold has told me of other people doing unethical things, but yours was obviously egregious. My giddy aunt. That is one hell of a claim to make, right? By the way, for someone to literally post this and be like stating that they've got voices in their heads, if you took that to court, you're going to get laughed out of court. But you're probably thinking, well, that's pretty batshit crazy. It gets even worse. As Jason Hawes, this man right here, father of Satori Hawes, and father-in-law of Cody Desbians, over on his YouTube channel, Conjuring Update, you won't believe what I was accused of. And believe me, you will not believe what he was accused of. Let's take a little look because it is absolutely simply strange.
Hello, everybody. So it has been an insane couple days. And I'm going to stress that again. It has been an insane couple days. So if you haven't heard or seen what has been going on with the Conjuring House or following the Conjuring Chaos, whatever you want to call it, you have no idea what you've been missing. Now,
honestly, this is huge drama. One of the biggest things in the paranormal field is not about paranormal investigations. People think it is, but in the paranormal space on YouTube, it's just drama, drama, drama. I've never known a niche to have so much drama. It's not about the paranormal investigations anymore. It's not about finding ghosts and ghouls. It's all about the drama, because drama gets clicks more than that of the paranormal investigations.
Now, I did not want to make this video, but I have to make this video now because I think I've just been accused of being involved in an assassination plot.
Yeah. Let's just let that one sit for a second. He's been accused of being in part of an assassination attempt.
And I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to show those messages.
Here we go.
Because it gets crazier and crazier. And I don't know. So if you haven't followed the drama or you have no idea what's been going on, back in the end of April, beginning of May, 7 employees turned in their resignation because they were dealing with some issues. And the owner, they communicated back and forth, and the owner was trying to get them to stay and change things, and they all declined.
Long story short, she literally blackmailed Cody and Satori and said that if they left and proceeded with their resignation, she would literally expose them as fake. But, you know, in the same breath, it would also expose her as fake because she willingly allowed fake to take part on an evening of real paranormal investigation. So therefore, she also scammed the audience. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword, Jacqueline.
So those messages got worse and worse throughout the period of time. And then, I believe it was July 10th, all of a sudden, a post gets posted where just viciously attacking them, claiming all these things, let alone the text messages that were accusing people of stealing money, accessing accounts. And you can see all that. It's on a video right here on Jason Hawes. So check it out. But then, if we didn't think it could get crazier, the general manager, Brian, was asking about his pay. He was owed $9,000 in back pay. And when he inquired about it, he was told that John Arnold, who died in 1839, told the owner, she says herself, that he was stealing from her and he wasn't getting paid.
Let's just talk about that, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine Brian takes her to court and she's like, oh, I didn't pay him for 5 weeks worth of work at the total of $9,000, which, by the way, that's a great pay packet. Because John Arnold, who died in 1839, you know, almost 200 years ago, told me he was stealing from me. The judge would be like, get her out of here, pay him right now.
So he said, well, we got a camera, we got audio, you can record, the whole thing's recorded, you can check. No, didn't matter. John Arnold told her that he was stealing, so she threw him out. Brian, I made a video for, you can check that out. Again, it's on the page. Feel horrible. He's seeking legal recourse, which he should. But she also she also told him that, well, if you go public or anything, I'm going to sue you. And that is an ongoing trend with this person. Now it gets interesting. Nah, I can't even say interesting. I did not want to make this video. I really didn't, because I have major concerns, not for myself, for the owner. I have major concerns for her, not about her, for her. Also, I have major concerns for any employees that still work there. I think there's one left, because the other gentleman, Kevin, quit yesterday because he was terrified for his safety.
Wow.
And, you know, so he ended up getting out of there.
Holy shit.
But I have concerns for her. I have concerns for anybody who works there. And I have a lot of concerns for anybody who goes there to stay, who booked overnights. Yesterday, people showed up for an event that they couldn't get into because nobody was there.
Wow, this is bad. This is really bad. This is beyond bad.
Kevin had quit, which I totally understand, and she didn't show up. So nobody got in. Now,
by the way, how disappointed would you be if you were one of the paying customers going to that night? Bear in mind, it is not cheap to get in. There was a full breakdown over on the Side Eye Guy's YouTube channel where he stated that he paid $2,350, so $2,350 just for one night, for him and a group of people. Yes, 2 people were allowed to record, so that's why there was a premium, but at the same time, that's almost $2,500 to not be able to get in. Like, in this person's case. You'd want a refund, but in the state of mind that Jacqueline Nunez is in, you can't guarantee you get a refund.
There are people... Okay, so we got... Yesterday morning, I get up to go to a plumbing job. And, you know, which, yes, I'm still a plumber. Work for Roto-Rooter. Now, I haven't talked to Jacqueline, the owner of the Conjuring house, since March, when she reached out to me saying that she had a plumbing issue and was asking for guidance. And these are the messages right here. March 17th.
Let's have a look. Hi Jason, happy St. Paddy's Day. I hope it's a good one. We need a roto router at TCH for a clogged drain in staff quarters. I know you used to be affiliated. Who should I call? I appreciate your help. Basically, he helped. Thank you. I'm sorry for your... I'm not sure what that's about, but that seems like a, you know, amicable conversation there.
She reaches out. I tell her, absolutely, you know, you can call this number. My friend Chris was the general manager. He had just passed away. But, you know, this number will connect you. Okay, so there. Her response, thank you. I'm very sorry. Let me show you the whole thing because I want 100% transparency.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
So, thank you. I'm sorry for your loss. I'll call the plumber. I appreciate it. I'll call the number. I appreciate it. Hope hello to you and your family for me. Hopefully I'll see you sometime, somewhere, so whatever. Okay, haven't spoken to her since. So, that being said, Yesterday, I get up to a text of a video that shows a pickup truck at 4:07 in the morning, 4:08 in the morning, backing up out of her property, right next to her car. Now, I'm going to show the text, and I'll show the video at the end, because at the end of the video, it's her holding her cell phone, recording it. At the end of the video, she says something weird like, "Who's he talking to?" Whatever. But this is what I received, okay? "I'm told you knew of the assassination attempt on me. I will never be defeated or destroyed by any effing paranormal person now or at any time in the future. So effing be it."
Whoa! That's one hell of an accusation to make. You knew of the assassination attempt on me. What the Kentucky, man?
Okay.
That's a fucking bombshell, isn't it? I heard you know about the assassination attempt on me. Jesus.
I let that go. I was like, I have no idea what's going on here. Because I don't. Anyways, here is the second part of that. "Just wait. I know there are going to be arrests. So just wait. Brittany, Aaron, and Tiffany will be dealt with separately." Which, I have to be honest, sounds like a threat to those ladies. And they should look into some sort of a protection.
That does sound like a threat. It does sound threatening, that. Like, to be dealt with separately, like, something's going to happen. She's going to make sure that something gets done about it.
Because this is so unhinged. I mean, it's all over the place. And, you know, I made a video for Brian because Brian, the general manager, asked about the money he was owed, and he was terminated over what's supposedly a ghost. And then he created the GoFundMe page, and this lady went on and attacked him.
Wow,
and
man.
Called him a loser and all this other stuff, and nobody should donate to his GoFundMe page.
Wow.
He's only trying to pay his rent and food.
Now, this could be an unpopular opinion right now, but just hear me out. My mind, because of the state of mind that Jacqueline Nunes is clearly in right now, my mind goes to, this is set up by her to take someone down who's talking out about her. Jason Hawes, he obviously hosted a platform for people who worked for Jacqueline Nunes to expose some harsh truths. Now, my mind goes straight to, well, this person, she's clearly like maybe set something up herself to make it seem like Jason Hawes has plotted an assassination attempt against her to get him taken down, to stop this, you know, broadcasting of negativity about her and the Conjuring house. That sounds batshit crazy. But if you think about the state of mind that this person's clearly in, and basically the warpath that this person is going on to take down anyone that speaks out against her, is it so unrealistic? My mind, no, not really.
Well, that's what we need to survive. And he can't survive if you haven't paid him in 2 months. And now you're telling him you won't pay him. And you're telling him if he goes public, you're going to sue him. So, anyways, getting back to the story, she goes, "I know that was you, Jason F. and Hawes, in the truck. If you zoom in, you can see your face. I'm told that Jake Murray and Joe Ranone will be turning over all their evidence of your psychic torture and other means of depraved cruelty."
What does that even mean? How can you get evidence of psychic torture? Genuinely, what does that mean? What is psychic torture, and how do you provide evidence of that? Because the last time I checked, psychic was like, you know, not psychotic in this sense, but like psychic as in telekinesis and that kind of bollocks, you know? But it's mad. How do you prove that? Does someone just come in and go, yes, you're psychically torturing someone? Man.
We have much physical evidence because some of you were stupid enough to use Facebook Messenger. There are also emails and text messages. Now, the only message I've ever had with her, text, I just showed those. I don't think I've ever talked to her through Facebook Messenger or emails. But, I mean, maybe an email, but I don't think ever an email. So anyways, so as this point, I was being accused of some sort of an assassination attempt on her.
Wow, man.
Now,
Wow.
here's the main issue with this all. I'm going to go back and I want to show this picture because this is the most interesting part. So this white vehicle you see in this picture is the owner's vehicle. Now, there is a pickup truck that is backing out at 4:07, 4:08 a.m. in the morning. Now, these people, Jacqueline, the owner, had to let in because nobody was there. These people showed up for an overnight and nobody was there. So she finally showed up. She let them in. Now, she let them in. They were driving a pickup truck. She let them in. It's a red pickup truck, I believe. And I actually have their information and everything else. So,
Wow, so she's basically pinning an assassination attempt on Jason Hawes because of a red pickup truck, even though the red pickup truck was apparently belonging to the people that went to the overnight where she had to get out and go and let them in because there was no one there. What kind of like messed up voodoo shenanigan is this?
she lets them in. She asks them, "Would you like a tour?" And they said yes. Her response, and I can't make this stuff up. So just bear with me.
Hang on.
Her response is, "Okay, let me go get a staff member." She goes into the room, locks the door, and never came back.
What kind of business is this? This is what the...
Never came back. These
This
people
is
knocked on the door,
madness.
tried to make contact with her. She never came back.
Oh
She never
my God.
answered.
This is mad.
So
This
these
is
people
mad.
at 4:08 in the morning, they were probably tired. They didn't know what was going on. They left, driving a pickup truck. The very pickup truck she opened the gates and let in.
Oh my God.
So now, and this was 2 days. This was two nights ago. So not last night. It was the night before. And then yesterday, people showed up for a whole event thing that was going on, and nobody was there. The police showed up to tell them that they had to leave the property. Nobody was there. So these people paid for something, but nobody was there. So again, I'm going to show the video at the end of this, and you can watch the video. You can hear her talking at the very end of it, whispering, "Who's he talking to?" or something. But this was the first text, the video, the first part of the text.
Okay.
And okay. And again, this was the second part. Just going in on it. So now with this, I try to just let things go. Maybe
By the way, like, this is a little bit off topic, but Jason Hawes has got the most soothing voice. I could listen to him talk literally all day. Like, a bit off topic, but it's just making this video so much more enjoyable.
somebody's having a bad day. I don't know. But now, so she just did a post earlier, again, on the Conjuring House Facebook page.
Okay.
And blocking and also deleting all comments that are opposed to it, which is exactly what they did with a bunch of the other posts that they did recently.
Standard.
Where they were attacking people, and 1,400 comments. I think there were 2 positive comments to the whole thing.
Wow.
And I think that's people who didn't actually read what the post was in the first place. But they're deleting, they're banning, they're doing all this stuff. But she just did a post, and I'm going to show you this. Okay, here we go. This is incredible. Watch what happens. The guy who pulled up in the truck at 2:30 a.m. looks like Jason Hawes. We are divinely protected, and so are all of the well-intentioned visitors. This is the 3rd time I've posted these videos. Some hijacker of our the Conjuring House account has deleted most of my posts, and I will find out who they are. How can evidence of paranormal activity be so threatening that they need to do anything to prevent people from seeing it? In this message, she directly drags me into it. So here's the biggest concern on this. All right, I hate making this video because I really did not want to make this video.
Wow.
I didn't. My concern is for the owner of the property first, because I think anybody who sees these messages has the same concern as I do.
She's clearly not well. Clearly. Like, someone can... I don't know if it's the same in the US, but in the UK, you can call for a wellness check, basically, where you phone the police, you say, look, I don't think this person's doing particularly well. Can someone please go over, check on them, and, you know, basically do a very brief kind of psychological analysis to see if this person is actually okay, and then just take it from there. Usually it's for someone that you haven't seen for a few days, they haven't left their house kind of thing. You get the police to go over and just do a wellness check. Is that something that could be done here? Because yes, she is leaving her house, yes, she is active on social media, but she's clearly not well. Clearly.
But beyond that, my concern is for anybody who may have employment. I think there's only one person still employed at the Conjuring house who hasn't quit yet. And any guest who books an overnight or who books a tour, because you need to remember that this individual is on that property. This individual is staying in either in the trailer that's on the property or in the living quarters that are also on that property. So my main concern, of course, is for everybody's safety. The financial issue, bad enough. I don't want to see people get screwed out of money, but I don't want to see people get injured. And that's the scariest part.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I'm making this video. I mean, I just want everybody to be safe.
Yeah.
Now, with this, we need to take into consideration a couple other things. First off, you do a post online. A lot of times there's ramifications that come from these posts. So if I posted something online attacking an individual, there's always a chance that one of my followers might have issues that make them think differently. And you need to take into consideration that sometimes you put others in the threat of harm. So if I posted something and somebody was like, well, hey, Jason's concerned about this, maybe I'll help him out. That's a concern for me. I never want something I say to affect somebody. It's happened in the past, and I don't ever want it to happen again. But now her doing a post like this, if there was anybody out there who thought she was in her right mind,
yeah,
by posting something like this, and they thought this person's in threat, let me help her out. So now I have to take consideration or concern for the well-being of my family.
Wow.
Me, my family, my children, all these people. So her posting something like this and making it appear as if I'm randomly showing up or trespassing, doing whatever on her property to cause her harm can lead potentially to people being severely hurt.
Yeah, and this is the issue. She's not got any proof that Jason Hawes absolutely, categorically, 1,000,000% without a shadow of a doubt was there. And the issue is she's clearly, to me anyway, this is just my opinion, I believe that she is clearly trying to stop the negative press coming from probably the biggest, argument out there. Jason Hawes, right? He's the biggest platform covering this right now. He's getting hundreds of thousands of views per video. It's not a good look. She wants it to stop. How do you do that? Well, you try and silence the person that you do by any means necessary. That's the kind of character that Jacqueline Nunes clearly is. We've seen it with Brian, we've seen it with Cody and Satori, we've seen it with the people that have left, and now we're seeing it with Jason Hawes. Anybody who steps in her path. We saw it with Mythos Paranormal a few months ago, where Jacqueline Nunes tried to drag him into some shit and try and silence him. She's clearly doing anything that she can. It's textbook stuff to try and silence him. It's messy. It's really messy.
Let's be honest. It's not a far shot, especially in this world these days. So, these are major concerns.
For sure.
These are major concerns. This is a can of worms that she just opened up 100%. That I don't think she can close. And she's already going to be dealing with severe legal action from numerous individuals.
Yeah.
And now very possibly I have to get involved in it. So,
I mean, this is defamation of character. It would go down as defamation. She's accused someone of an assassination attempt when they clearly haven't. A notable figure at that, Jason Hawes. You know, he's been on TV as a ghost hunter. He's now huge on YouTube. He's big in the paranormal. Everybody knows him. You know, this is a defamation case. And the issue is with Jacqueline is, yes, she might have endless pots of cash, but that will soon dry up. Especially if she can't fulfill events at the Conjuring house. She'll have to continue dishing out refunds. People will stop booking. You know, it's going to get really messy. And I don't know how she can defend herself against such accusations and such, well, not even accusations anymore. This is just fact.
You know, bottom line, and you know what? Another thing I need to, I need to say, I got to get this off my chest.
Here we go.
Because I've seen some people post about it, some people talking about it. There is nothing to do with demonic possession in this situation.
For sure.
I need that to be 100% clear. Anybody saying she's possessed, understand you're only giving a way out with something that she's not. She's not, 100%. So we need to stop this whole bullshit.
Yeah, it's enabling the behaviour. Because if Jacqueline Nunez sees that, she's like, yes, I am possessed. You're absolutely right. And then it's almost like a get out of jail free card. No, we hold these people accountable. Right? She's making bad decisions. Bad decisions are reprehensible. And we need to make sure that we are holding those people accountable. Because at the end of the day, she's in a position of significant power. Business owner, a manager. She's got staff that work for her. One member of staff that works for her now. She owes someone money. She's in a significant place of power and she should be held accountable for bad decisions. And bad decisions are being made right now. Don't give her excuses. Don't excuse the behaviour. Fucking hold it accountable.
With everything's a demon. I mean, it's gotta stop. I mean, people think that, okay, maybe that is what sells, but if it's what sells, then I don't want any damn part of it.
This isn't a Twin Paranormal episode title. No, it's not demonic. It's just not.
Bottom line is saying, oh, well, she's possessed. It's the house that's doing this to her. It has nothing to do with that. So we need to stop making that a scapegoat for somebody's actions.
Yep.
People need help. Bottom line. It has nothing to do with the paranormal. It has nothing to do with that house. It has to do with that person.
Let's take a little look at previous owners, right? Previous owners have never experienced, apart from obviously the very first owner where this whole thing spiraled from, have never experienced demonic possessions until Jacqueline Nunez. But there has been a long string, spanning back over months now, of bad decisions. Bad decision, bad decision, bad decision, bad decision, bad decision. I'm getting called out for my bad decisions now. Bad decision, bad decision, bad decision. I'm demonically possessed. No. Don't accuse it. Don't account for it. Don't.
And we need to take that into consideration. We need to stop thinking this whole demonic thing, because then people will never get the assistance that they truly need.
Yeah, for sure.
So stop with the bullshit about
speaking facts.
Possession and demons. And some people might think that's what sells because they do it on their frickin' show all the time. Well, it's complete bullshit. I've been doing this for 30-something years. We handle cases directly for numerous religious organizations. 99.9% of the cases that we get sent to write up preliminary reports on possession or demonic hauntings have nothing, not one thing, to do with the paranormal or a demon. So stop with the bullshit about demons. All right? And that starts at the top. Let's be honest. Because that's just people putting it out there and letting all these people watch it and then claiming, oh, well, you know, no, they're out there. No, they're not. You're the one that's fabricating this. You're the one that's pushing this whole ideology. That's not real. You're not helping people. You're hurting people.
Fair.
You're not helping the field. You're hurting the field. You're making a mockery of this field. So stop giving somebody the freaking, the escape of using that for bad choices or other issues. It's to the point where it's so disgusting. You know, this field has always been so important to me and so many others. And to see what some people have turned it into is just, it's heartbreaking. It truly is. And if that's the shit people want, well then it's not worth it for me, because I'm never going down that path. So that's my little rant on this whole bullshit of everything being possessions and demons and all that stuff. Do I believe in negative entities? 100%. But I believe 99.9% of those have nothing to do with it. So bottom line, stop with that bullshit. Now getting back to this, people need to be concerned. People need to be careful.
Yeah. This person right now is very dangerous. There's no two ways about it. She's a very dangerous person with a lot of power. Okay? And those are two things that should never mix. Danger and power. Because with power comes influence, and with influence becomes reckless decisions. Okay? And with someone that's clearly quite dangerous right now, throwing around the accusations that she is, it's really a bad look. And the problem is she can just buy her way out of any trouble. And that really is the bottom line of it. And that's why, you know, dangerous people should not be left in charge of important things. Unfortunately, they are, as we have seen in this case, but I'm massively concerned as well, just like what Jason is.
This is something that needs to be handled.
Appropriately.
And I worry about her safety.
Not just handled appropriately.
I worry about that property, and I worry about anybody and everybody who comes into contact with this individual. It has nothing to do with the paranormal. But help is needed. And as long as people are going there, you're financially making it impossible to do so.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you want my advice? Cut all ties with that place. Put that place as far out of your mind as possible. Make sure the world knows. Because that person will never take the help as long as she's got the ability to keep on going. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think Jason actually makes a really fair point there. And, you know, fair play to Jason for making this video, because he's done it. Not like, if it were me, right, I'd be going fucking balls to the wall, and I would be fuming that someone has accused me of trying to assassinate them and then publicly blasted me online for it. And, you know, that is concerning. That's a huge red flag. And for someone like Jason Hawes and his stature, he's got a lot to lose from accusations like that. You know, not just in the sense of his platform, but in the sense of real world events. Now, if there's one piece of advice I would give you, never ever take internet beef or online beef into the real world. Okay? Like, you'd never mix the two. If you've got a real life problem with someone, take it out with them in real life. If you've got an internet problem with someone, hash it out on the internet. But don't mix the two, ever. Right, we are going to watch the alleged clip of Jason Hawes driving his red pickup truck, and then we'll wrap up this video. But my lord, this is just crazy.
And stay safe.
First of all, those lights are so blinding that you literally can't make out who is behind the wheel.
I was talking to them.
Genuinely, how can you make out who's actually in the driving seat of this car? Like, those lights are hella blinding. I can't see shit. Right, let's have a little rewind. Right. Even here. Wait, hang on. I'm thinking of a British car where you're sat on. No, the driver would be sat on this side, right? It's an American car, so it's my passenger seat. Yeah, no, it would be on this side of the car. I don't know how she can make out that that's Jason Hawes. Man, this entire situation just got absolutely insane, and I don't think we're going to see the end of it anytime soon. I mean, like I said before, fair play to Jason for making this video, you know, in such a pragmatic, humble way. I couldn't have done it in that way, but that's just me. What do you guys make of the whole situation? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It's safe to say this is for sure simply strange. Yeah, if you have gone on to find this video informative in any way, drop a like and subscribe. Tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And until next time, I hope you guys have enjoyed, if you couldn't even say that. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.